Hi guys, it's me Colton Johnson with Empty Popcorn Bucket Productions. This week we're not covering another book yet. I still haven't finished book 3, Prisoner of Azkaban. But I did go to the Harry Potter exhibition, and so that's what today's video is. It's just kind of my thoughts and review of that. And yeah, this video might cut out, and so I might jump into audio. But if that does happen, you'll know. So the Harry Potter exhibition was here in Salt Lake City from May until the end of September. And as someone who used to not really, I would say I enjoyed the movies for the most part. But over the last several years, I've become more of a Harry Potter fan. I've read the books and I know what my Patronus is and my house, my wand, all these other great things. But so here's kind of my thoughts, and also this is coming from someone who has experienced the Wizarding World of Harry Potter over at Universal Studios Orlando, which that has the Diagon Alley in the Universal Park, and then Hogsmeade and Islands of Adventure. When I'm comparing this to that, you could say this is not as a great experience, but for what it is, and for those who enjoy the franchise or are familiar with the franchise, one of these exhibitions is a great way locally to be able to experience Harry Potter. So going into it, what you do is first you select your house, your wand, your Patronus, and I think there was one more thing that you selected, and then you go in, get your picture taken, and then at first gives you an introduction video of kind of how the exhibit works. Then you also get this like little wristband thing that is very interactive with each of the exhibits, and kind of the goal of the exhibit as well is to gain points for the house that you're part of. I'm a Hufflepuff. I mean, I'm wearing blue, but I actually really don't have much yellow besides the tie. But I'm Hufflepuff. Then you went into a room that was kind of themed to the Marauders map, and it was really cool because then it kind of went through kind of what it is, and then you went through a few spells. It was pretty interactive. Then you went, and then it showed like the map changed. You put away the map by saying mischief managed, and then you kind of see like this screen with like with a model in the back of Hogwarts, and it was pretty cool. I'll show a picture of what that looked like in a way, and then it kind of went through Hogwarts throughout the different seasons, which was really cool. Then you went on to the kind of the hallway with the portraits. There were some portraits that moved, which was pretty cool. And then you kind of went into this little corridor where it showed your different houses, and on display there were different costumes from the movies. I don't know if they're replicas or from the actual movies. They could have been. In mine, obviously, we had Cedric Diggory and Nymphadora, who were both Hufflepuff. They also had Gryffindor, Slytherin, and Ravenclaw. And overall, it was still really cool. Then you kind of just wandered through to different classrooms, the Forbidden Forest. You got to see Hagrid's hut. There was a cool dragon, Harry's cupboard under the stairs. A lot of really cool, nifty little exhibits within this that had different interactive moments. I think I probably racked up about 70 points for Hufflepuff from all the different exhibits. But yeah, so now I'm gonna kind of move into more of an audio section, and I'll go through each picture. I actually had my brother come with me for this experience. He's here from Australia, which is funny. They actually have this exhibit going on in Australia, but a completely different part of Australia. But yeah, so let me jump into the pictures and then I'll be back in a moment. All right, here we go. So here's the first picture of me in front of Harry Potter, the exhibition. So kind of how it worked, it was at old storefront. So going into it didn't really feel like it was a store, so that was pretty good. It really had that immersive feel to it. Here's me and my brother, like mentioned. He is here from Australia. He lives in Australia. You've probably seen him in a few videos, and he'll be in a few other videos coming up, so stay tuned for those. So here's just me inside the exhibition. I'm just in front of this cool lit up image of the logo, the exhibit. And then here's my brother again. So this is the copy of the US publication of the book. I don't particularly know what this is supposed to be because that's not the Chamber of Secrets. Let me know in the comments below if that... Oh! Never mind. I'm dumb. That is the vault at Gringotts. And that's fun. That's because the book Philosopher's Stone's in there. Cool. Moving on. So this is the model I was talking about of Hogwarts Castle, and I wish I got a video of it, but it probably wouldn't have do justice. But it went through each of the seasons, had snow effect, and because there was kind of like a film or like screen in between that kind of model or showcase like snow effects and rain effects, and then you can kind of see there's like the screens around that as well, kind of showcasing all that. It was pretty cool. I didn't get too much of the portrait gallery of the hallways, but here's one I got. I wish there was just so many people walking at that time, and I didn't want to block any of the way for other people. I could have gone back and took a picture, but I didn't. Then there's me kind of in front of this stained glass of Hufflepuff, which is the house I belong to. And then here's my brother in front of the Slytherin one. He's a Slytherin. So here's just I think this area was the Gryffindor common room, and you can see right there is the fireplace. I might be wrong. This might have been Professor Trelawney's classroom, but there's a cool little fireplace right there. Then here's me in potions. Behind me, you can see the costume for Professor Slughorn. Right next to it is Snape. I didn't get a picture of that, but it's pretty cool. But it also has the potion book that belonged to the Half-Blood Prince, which is pretty awesome. There's me in herbology with one of these nifty little creatures, which is a lot of fun. And the effect that it had was a little bit delayed, but then like after I put it back in, it did the screaming, which I thought was funny, but still pretty cool. Then there is Defense Against the Dark Arts, and which is funny right now, actually, as I've been reading the third book, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, I actually just got through the chapter where Professor Lupin is teaching the students about Boggarts and the spell Ridiculous. So that's a lot of fun that I just actually read that as I'm recording this. Here is just right next to Hagrid's hut, there's a little scarecrow with some Harry Potter. I thought it was, my brother and I joked and called it Harry Pumpkin. But because it has Gryffindor clothes on. Here's me and my brother. We got a picture with the scarecrow. Pretty cool. Here's me in Hagrid's hut. I thought this was really cool and had the teapots and all that. And then here's my brother in Hagrid's chair, and then me in Hagrid's chair. It was a pretty big chair. It doesn't look like it's that big, but it felt pretty big when I was sitting in it. Then I wanted a dramatic shot of me walking through the Forbidden Forest. I thought that was pretty cool, right next to Hagrid's little hut right there. Then here is me standing right next to the dragon, which was pretty cool. Kind of looking all nonchalant. The other picture I was going to show just didn't come across that well, so I won't show it here. Then there's me kind of in the Quidditch area. I wish I got a picture of it, but they had this fun little game where there was the Quidditch balls, and you'd throw it into the hoops and it made a sound. It's kind of unfortunate that didn't give you points. You'd think something that interactive would give you points from that, but it is what it is. Then there's me inside Newt Scamander's little briefcase from Fantastic Beasts. They had kind of an area centered around that, which was pretty cool. Then they had what appears to be the Ministry of Magic and where you come out using the flue. So that was pretty cool. Then me in a classic Ministry of Magic booth. So that was another way. That was pretty cool. Here's my brother in Professor Umbridge's office with all the little cats on the wall. Then me looking a little snooty, kind of like the character. Professor Umbridge is quite a terrible human being and one of the terriblest characters. Not written, but she is the worst. Then here's me in front or inside of Harry's little cupboard under the stairs. I thought that was pretty cool. And then the Chamber of Secrets. So this one's the Chamber of Secrets. You can see with all the little snakes and stuff. That was pretty cool. And then here is the picture. I've kind of combined them two. It's Harry Potter and Voldemort's final duel in the last movie, which is pretty cool. And then just one last little picture, just me. So I hope you enjoyed all of that, and thank you for joining me on this wizarding journey. I hopefully will be finishing Prisoner of Azkaban in the next week or so I'll have that next video out. I am going to see The Long Walk next week, and hopefully we'll be able to do a review on that one. It really depends on when the review embargo is. I'm seeing that actually, I think about a week or so early, which is pretty cool. So stay tuned for that. Please like, subscribe, and share. Also, thank you so much. I have just recently hit 250 subscribers, and that is a big accomplishment for me. I started this channel about 4 years ago, and to see how far I've gone from the 30 range to now 250 is a really big deal for me. Also, over on my TikTok, I have over 1,000 followers, which is pretty cool. So check that out. But if you're not subscribed and you just randomly come across this and you enjoy movies, please feel free to click the subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. And let me know, what's your favorite Harry Potter book or movie? Let me know in the comments below. And have a wonderful day. Bye.